What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am Kristen, for all who are new and for all who are returning. What's up? So if you all know my last video that I did, I said that Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm coming for you. A huge fan of Housewives of Atlanta. Have been watching since season 1. So these ladies have a lot of history with each other, and sorry if you guys can hear both things. We have a heater in here, and the people that are on the other side of us are having their driveways pressure washed. So, but we're gonna hop right into this. Now, first off, I want to say a huge congratulations to Unwind with Tasha K. She is a part of the YouTube squad, the YouTube family. First episode to start the season off, they put some of her footage from one of her previous videos in the actual episode of Housewives of Atlanta, so that is awesome. Brooklyn and Pilar are beautiful little girls. They're so cute. But you know how it usually goes. The first portion of the episode, everybody is kind of like getting caught up with like what they have going on in life and just separately and that whole thing. So we'll kind of start off where the tea starts off. The Bailey wine cellar is one of Cynthia's new ventures. Now, I couldn't tell from the footage. Is this a bar or is this like a liquor store? I just couldn't figure out, like, it's okay, so like, are these bar vibes, or is this just, I'm in a higher end of the neighborhood and we're a black owned wine cellar? So Cynthia proceeds to get to talking about the allegations of Portia's ex-fiance. They were crazy allegations, not just cheating and lying and that type of thing, but like bestiality, which was weird. But let me tell you this, the editing team over at Bravo, y'all played that man. For them to make allegations about somebody being into bestiality and then showing a clip of Portia in an animal suit. You like this?
Yeah. That one got the tail on it too.
Why you always looking for the tail? Oh my God, they played him. They played him. I thought that was funny. There wasn't really anything else that happened in that scene, so we'll keep rocking. In this scene in particular, Portia was sitting down and she was talking with her sister and her mom, just about how, like, her sister was saying how she thought that like the flowers in the house and stuff like that is too much of a reminder of him. So like, if it was her intention to like get over him, like she just has a lot of constant reminders like in her space and around her environment. And I totally feel her on that. Like, I don't know how often he's sending flowers, and maybe I missed that. Maybe I completely missed that. But I think that that's a little excessive. You know what I mean? Like, a few times that you're trying to make your point, like, I'm sorry, I messed up. Like, okay, like, you know, 1 or 2 bouquets of flowers we can talk about. But she's got flowers all over her home to the point where like her mom says it feels like a funeral home in here. Her sister was concerned about her getting back into her routine from after being off maternity leave, and then being hit with all the stuff that, and all the allegations and stuff that everybody has been swarming, you know, the media with. You know, she kind of got emotional and she was saying that, you know, she finds it hard to get out of bed sometimes. And at that point, I felt bad, because I was just like, a lot of stress towards the end of a pregnancy or right after your birth, like that can just really cause women to go into postpartum depression, and that can get serious. And I just hate that. I hate that some women even get into postpartum depression, because it's usually such a beautiful time for you to be bonding with your child and that whole thing. But then like, when life and everything else is completely overshadowing the fact that you have this brand new blessing type thing, like, I just really hate that she feels like sometimes that she can't get out of bed. But you know, the other part of me also felt like I'm sure she's embarrassed. Like, not only is it could already be hard for her to get out of bed because of postpartum depression. She could probably already be dealing with postpartum depression alone, like without you know, all the stuff with the social media and the allegations and, you know, him moving out of the house and that whole thing, like, she could have it completely separate from that. But then the fact that you pile all of that then onto it, I know it's embarrassing. I mean, I would be extremely embarrassed if the person who I literally like went to bat for the whole first year that they were together, like, I don't know if y'all remember, but last season, Portia went hard for Dennis. For instance, whenever Kandi tried to sit her down and tell that girl, like, I just want you to watch your back. Like, Kandi's not after your man, and Kandi's not after you. So, before I get there, so she had gone on and was telling her family that she said that she keeps answering the phone. As far as Dennis calling, she keeps answering the phone because she's just pretty much waiting for the day that he's going to come to his senses, or, you know, just for somebody to wake her up and say, like, this isn't your reality, is what she said that she's been waiting on. But at the same time, like, that's whenever I got confused, because I was just like, Kandi warned you. Kandi and Portia have not always gotten along, okay? But I think that Portia has always thought that there was a part of Kandi that has never let the situation go. From a couple years ago, a few seasons back, whenever her and Phaedra were in that whole big drug allegations and trying to, like, rape allegations and that type of thing. So they come from a pretty rocky, rough, you know, history, okay? Women have a history of, I want to move forward, I want to move on, let's have the past be the past, and everybody says that to each other. But then somebody gets presented with an opportunity to show that person that they don't fuck with them. As soon as that tea hits that cup, it's ammo. I can see where Portia would still somewhat maybe have a wall up and feel like Kandi was not being genuine when telling her that, you know, I just want you to know that Dennis is out here in these streets. He's been around. And again, that's what she warned her of a year ago. Portia didn't want to hear it. So I felt bad for her in that moment, as far as like a postpartum side, and as far as being embarrassed. I completely feel for her. But then again, we can't say that you were never made privy of anything. Eva, Cynthia, and Kandi, they are all at OLG. So they go, they link up, they eat. And let me tell you, Eva, you better get your life with that baby, honey. You better eat. You better. I need some off your plate, and I need some off your plate. Some girl named Sincerely is supposed to be, or allegedly was, the rumored mistress in Dennis and Portia's relationship, that she had an affair with him, which I kind of don't know why we're using the word like affair or mistress if Portia and Dennis weren't married. I'm just gonna say, I thought it was a little funky how that whole setup was. Like, girl, you made your way to national television to claim your innocence, honey. You straight, you did that. I don't know who you are, and I don't know how you did that shit, but you did that shit. And it just seemed so weird to me. Like, she sends a drink over, and anybody who knows Kandi knows that she doesn't drink. And then she comes over and she's just like, I just wanted to speak with you about something. Do you mind if I have a seat? And then she goes into starting to clear her name about the fact, like, I have never met Dennis. I did not have relations with that man. Cynthia was just like, you know, I believe her. Kandi said that she had absolutely nothing to do with that. And maybe she didn't. Maybe she did not. But I am just saying the setup looked weird. Just how she even approached the table to come and talk to them, sincerely to come and approach the table, and have that conversation with them for that brief moment. It was just weird. Like, and why her? Like, you have tons of other people in a restaurant. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, how is she the one that got through? if that makes sense. But Eva had gone into saying, there are some things that I just don't believe as far as all the allegations go. Eva was going through and saying like, do you believe this? Do you believe that?
Which stuff? If you said the bestiality stuff, no, I don't believe it.
Do you believe the coke stuff?
I don't know. I don't know him well enough to say if I believe it or not, but I heard it on the streets before.
And then do you believe the cheating stuff?
I don't know. Come on, sis.
She took that drink all the way back. Even in that conversation, Kandi was explaining, y'all remember that on several occasions, I tried to warn her about Dennis. And then just to kind of wrap up the episode, Brooklyn's party, her premiere party or whatever it was, they were debating on whether to tell Portia the details from Sincerely approaching the girls at the OLG restaurant. I don't necessarily think that that's the right setting to. I mean, like, you guys are filming, so you know that you're gonna have more than one opportunity to be able to give somebody the tea. They decided, you know, we're not gonna do it right here. It's not the time or place. So they came to that conclusion all together that they were not going to speak on it. But then Portia and Kenya end up getting a moment to themselves. Kenya was a little disappointed that Eva didn't bring her kids. And Portia went on to tell Kenya that Eva said that she didn't know you all like that, and that the times that I've been around you, you've pretty much showed your ass. So no, I'm not gonna bring my kids.
Well, except for Eva.
I know. I asked her, I was like, well, where's the baby? And she's like, well, you know, I don't really know Kenya like that. I said, yeah, but it's a kid's party. She was like, well, you know, the last couple times I've been around her, it's been, maybe it's been like a negative experience or whatever. I don't know. That is some bullshit. That's literally what I was thinking. And Cynthia was like, amen, and her like, yeah, I agreed. Like, she probably shouldn't have brought the kids. She told me she wasn't bringing the kids.
And of course, Kenya was pretty offended, which I would be offended as well. Like, this is a child's event, and it's my child's event. So no, there will be none of that here. So they did tea for tea. So Portia told Kenya some tea. Kenya came back and told Portia that the girls had been discussing whether they were going to let her know a little tidbit of information or not, which was, again, that Sincerely approached them at the OLG restaurant.
But we want to stay positive, so I have some positive news to tell you.
Okay, what?
Okay. There was something being said about, you know, Dennis cheating or whatever, and mentioned some girl. I guess her name is Sincerely.
Sincerely from the blog.
Well, I don't know if it's a blog, but it was...
No, it's a blog that says that she and Dennis were cheating together.
So she showed up, and she said, at Candy's restaurant.
At Candy's restaurant.
Oh, God.
Wrong road, bitch. Why the hell is she at Candy's restaurant?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm sure one of Candy's people invited Candy.
I want to get the girls.
These ladies just told you that we're not having that conversation with her here. That shady old Kenya. Here she comes. Now, Portia definitely ends up feeling some type of way. She completely had like a flashback, like, oh, what are the odds of that? This all happened at OLG. It looks set up-ish. It does. I mean, ultimately she feels like Kandi is behind it. Kenya brings all the ladies in the room to let them know, like, I told her what y'all said. And, you know, Kandi kind of gets on the defense because she did not, I guess that was the main thing that Kandi didn't want Portia thinking, was that she had anything to do with it. Kandi and Cynthia, all of them explained that we were going to tell you, we just weren't going to tell you right here, right now. Portia said, you know, I'm not jumping for joy to hear about that. That still doesn't make me feel better. I mean, that's just one allegation that may not be true. That is season 12, episode 1. Just my little thoughts and opinions. I don't know what the next episode is really about. I mean, I guess I kind of missed that. But either way it goes, we will be here next week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you all then.